Good morning. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer Denney.
And first off, we're going to start today by congratulating Jennifer because Jennifer has just been recognized, and this is a really big deal. She's got her award. Tell me who this award was from.
It was from Aspire, so in Johnson County, for profit business success for 1 to 9 employees. I will tell you that I have filled out awards before, but I just did it on a whim this time. Was like, okay, I really need to fill this out. Who knows, maybe. Um, yeah.
But you know what? That award, it does recognize and acknowledge the contribution you're making to the economic community that you're in.
hmm
It
hmm
recognizes excellence in business and it sends very
I had
clear
to write an
signals.
essay. I had to show all my financial numbers. Like it was legitimate and effort that had to be done to fill it out. I guess I had the numbers to show it.
And that's really what we're going to talk about today is, there are lots of these entrepreneur awards. Every entrepreneur has a plaque or something somewhere on their desk. But do you go after it? Should you go after it? Can you compete and win? And the answer to all of those questions is yeah.
Yeah, you need to plan it and you need to do it. And we've gotten awards before that we did not fill anything out for, and that's nice that we got recognized for that too. But there's got to be that effort of all those different, and just see if you can get it, so that you can have the marketing benefit, the feeling of the team, everybody being excited that you got something. Immediately right after this happens, one it was a great story. Came up to me, a potential client, like, we signed the contract this morning. Now we know, the last agency had filled this out for, obviously you're better at it. And then I'm like,
Yes. So you ended up with a client who you beat out the
yeah.
award because they recognized they knew how hard it was to get that award. And it is it's a little bit intangible, but there is a credibility factor when you go to a website or you research a company and you see that they have been recognized, the owners, the employees, the company overall, for excellence in a variety of categories. It gives you that respect. If people are like,
Trust.
oh, they're doing something.
Yeah, I think the trust level too, that it's not just you boosting your own ego,
Mhm.
other people are recognizing what you're doing, and so it certainly can help that as well. um yeah.
Yeah. Well, and one of the other things that going through certifications and award processes often force you to do, and it's actually really good, is they ask you questions about your process. They ask you
Mhm.
questions about how you do things.
Yeah.
And it makes you go, oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't know how I do
I
that.
had to do that, and I had to write that out, and then afterwards, I had some people like, "That was really good," like, how you said it, but I didn't really think about it. It was just like, "No, this is just natural. This is how we do it," and they're like, "That makes a lot of sense." Yeah, it forces you to do all that. The media coverage that comes after it, so there was lots of pictures there. I remember it was a big deal to be on the cover of a Johnson County newspaper, Daily Journal. I was on the cover, so,
Mhm.
I've got it over here, but it was like
You know what? But in that community, somebody in Indianapolis might not be as impressed,
but here,
but and if you're doing business locally
yeah,
and you're a member of the chamber and to
that's what this was, is the local chamber
Mhm,
down in this area, and it covers multiple counties and areas,
mhm.
so there's multiple people involved. um, Gave you networking opportunities. So then it's like a conversation piece. Like you come to the next event and they're like, "Hey, aren't you the one that won the Aspire Award?" Yeah, that's me. So
Well, and it's also an opportunity to network with other people who have received the same award.
yeah.
So,
understand how they got it, and yeah.
Yes. And, there is nothing wrong with if you're looking at an award um, or some kind of recognition and you're like, okay, I want to be on that list. Who's on that list now? Picking up the phone, seeking them out, saying, hey, congratulations, you were recognized with this award. I'd love to know more about your story.
Learn from other people,
Yeah.
like, in general, like, okay, how can I get better? And you're learning about that's that networking aspect. I think
Mhm.
that is super important. Sometimes it's about who you know, not what
Mhm.
you know.
Oh, I totally agree. But it's also, it's you might learn from them, but also once you win, you're in this other category. You're up a notch. And so now you're being perceived as an equal of people and businesses that maybe you thought were one step beyond where you were.
Yeah.
And just the association with those other established businesses, successful business owners is going to not just networking, but also enhance your reputation because you're part of that group.
And I was happy just to be in the final. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
that's really cool." And, like, standing up, and then they gave my name. I'm like, "Well, I'll be darned." I actually won, okay. But confidence boost, I guess.
Yes. And so I think for any business owner, it's not the single most important thing you'll do this week, but carve out a little time this week, an hour, research awards and recognition in your community. Research associations that give awards, stalk your competitors and see what awards they've won.
Yeah, because I don't think all awards are created equal. I will say that.
No. Now, there are, I know when I was running the agency, we would be on these top 10 web design companies in Indianapolis, and the list was kind of bogus.
Yeah,
But
the SEO value, though, of, like, I like that.
the so,
We're
a
still
lot of
on a lot of those, by the way.
yeah, yeah. Um, but the thing with those is grain of salt. They put you on the list and you do get the SEO value. And then the next thing they do is they send you an invitation to buy your plaque.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with next was, okay, there's some of them that just, like, you get constant emails of, "Oh,
Mhm.
you're up for this, you're up for that, and it costs this much money to do it," and how do you feel about paying for awards? I'm a no, but I
Um,
could be convinced.
in most instances, I'm a no. Okay. When I was in corporate, you would get the who's who books would reach out.
Yeah, reaching to me, I got that, and I was like, "Eh."
Now, when I was in corporate, I went to my vice president and I said, you're going to pay for this. I want to be in who's who. And my boss said, sure, whatever. Because at the
Yeah,
corporate level, it, it, it made everybody feel good, fine.
yeah,
The first time they reached out to me when I was running my own business and I was actually going to write the check for it, I was like, you have to be kidding.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, there is in the traditional advertising realm, all of those ad awards, the Addy awards,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
those are
I
always
help support those, so yeah.
those are almost always paid submissions. You can't even be considered if you don't pony up. So you have to decide, is there enough value?
Yeah.
Is there enough value that it will make it worthwhile?
I You keep using the word value, and so I think people are looking for value in a time right now with
Mhm.
inflation and things like that, and so they're looking for those trust factors of, "Do I trust this?" And it's who's, like, talking the loudest or
Mhm.
whatever have
Mhm.
you, like, those would give some trust factors.
Mhm.
It is pretty high up in the funnel, but you might need those trust factors because they gotta know that you're of value.
Yes. And so if you have If you don't have any awards and recognition, I think it makes sense to go after a few, and it may even make sense to buy one because prospective customers won't know.
No.
If, however, you've been around for a while and you've got legitimate recognition,
Yeah.
I would advocate that you don't bother with the paid ones.
Yeah, yeah, as long as you've already got it from other things. Then go work on your testimonials and your
Yes,
reviews.
absolutely. All right. So if you're looking for a little help with your testimonial and award strategy, schedule an hour with Jen or I, and we'll take you through some of the processes, things to look for, things to consider. And we'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Bye now.